And welcome to this demo of the Brunetti Singleman head. This is very similar to the combo version, but obviously in head form, but is basically 50 watt head instead of the 16 watts which we had with the Singleman combo, also available in a 35 watt mode as well, or 35 watt output. This is switchable from 50 down to 15 down to 2 watts, so switchable power stages. Very simple layout on the front panel. This is basically, think of it like a clean amp that breaks up really nicely in the lower wattage modes when you crank up the volume. So we've got, in terms of the actual controls, volume, bass, middle, treble, and a Acutonic spring reverb. Then the switches along the bottom, we've got a brilliant switch, which is like a bright switch, basically adding in more top-end presence. Fat and tweed settings, voicing switch. Adding a thick mode, which is almost like a mid-boost really, and then smooth to obviously smooth off the top end. And then down here we've got the wattage selector, so 50 in the higher position, 15 in the middle, and 2 in the lower. Standby and power, and then we've got a effects loop on the back, which is switchable. It's true bypass, so we can switch that completely out of the circuit, which is just running into a delay unit. Basically, you'll hear if I play. Very pristine sounding effects loop, very, very nice indeed. And then obviously speaker out. So we're running into a 2x12 Brunetti custom work cab, which has got a couple of vintage 30s in, mic'd up with an SM57 running into Logic. So this is the sound of the amp basically running through my S-type Fibonacci guitar with the neck pickup, just completely clean. Okay, so really dynamic, very, very crystal clear, bell-like clean tones. What I'll do first is I'll show you some of the voicing switches before we do any of the switching of modes in terms of power. So the bright switch, already quite bright, obviously, with the tone control, the treble control in the middle position, actually just slightly boosted. Let me bring that back down again. So the bright switch, here's without. Now if we engage it. Now what's great about that, it's got a real beautiful crystal clean, actually almost adding like a slight crunch in the very top end frequencies, but it's not ear piercing in any way, shape or form, even when it's nice and loud. I mean, we're pretty loud in the room here in 50 watt mode, volume just under halfway. That's not shrill at all, it's just very, very pleasing to the ear. And it's very dynamic and interactive when you're playing, so that top-end crispness, if you play quietly, is less apparent than if you play more loudly. Now the reverb that you're hearing is the Acutonic spring reverb. There's a tiny bit of delay in the background, but mostly what you're hearing is the reverb. If I just dial it out the circuit, there we go. Superb, amazing clean tone. Let's take the bright switch or the brilliant switch out Add the reverb in a little bit more again. Now, fat and tweed. At the moment we're in fat mode. Just bring the switch down to tweed mode and it's as easy to select as that, basically. Back up to fat, have a listen to that first. So we get this kind of a thing. Now if I go down to tweed, again a bit more spanky, slightly less bottom end, tightens up a little bit. Stunning, really amazing, stunning clean tone. Bring that back up to fat. Now let's engage the thick switch, which is the equivalent of the mid boost on the combo version. So we get this, again, just without the thick switch engaged. Now engage the thick switch. Okay, turning that back off again. Now let's engage the smooth switch. So now engaging that smooth switch. Okay, so smoothing out the top end frequencies a little bit, just rounding things out, but still very, very dynamic, lots of snap in the top end. So really, really nice switching options in terms of voicings there. So if I bring the power option down to 15 watts, now we can crank the volume a little bit in the room without killing our ears, and we get some overdrive. So this breaks up really, really nicely and really, really dynamically. So here's the same thing now, but with the volume cranked a little bit. It's a phenomenal tone. If we now go down to 2 watt mode, increase all the way up, let's engage the thick switch, take out the smooth, and engage the brilliant switch for a bit of a brighter sound. I'm just going to roll the volume off slightly and select position 4 on my guitar. absolutely phenomenal. Really, really amazing sounding amplifier. So that's the Singleman head, 50 watt version, switchable down to 15 watts and 2 watts. Hope you've enjoyed the demo. And yeah, check them out for sure. Absolutely amazing amplifiers. See you next time, guys.